Claude, please run the flash lamp automation. Let's see. Look at that. Hey everybody, I want to tell you about Home Assistant MCP. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It is basically the protocol in which AI agents are able to interact with other tools or other services. In this case, that other service or other tool is Home Assistant. And so with an MCP server, these AI agents will be able to interact with Home Assistant. So if you want to control Home Assistant from Claude Code or Claude Desktop or Gemini CLI or Codex CLI, this video is for you. Check it out. A couple of notes about this MCP server. So Home Assistant actually has an MCP server built into it, but it's really not very good. I've played around with it. I think it only has like 5 tools, and it's not very powerful. But I stumbled upon this MCP server, which has over 500 stars on GitHub. And in fact, if we flip over here to the discussions, the creator of Home Assistant reached out and asked, if they could incorporate some of this MCP server into Home Assistant core. So that's really cool. I would endorse this. It is really powerful, and I'm excited to tell you about it. Before jumping in, warnings, limitations. The first thing is, before you play around with this, please back up your Home Assistant. When you're using any AI tool on something that has your data on it, there's always a chance that it could mess something up. I haven't run into an issue where it has messed something up for me, but just to be safe, I would recommend backing up your Home Assistant instance. Go to Settings, go to System, go to Backups, and then hit Backup Now. So please do that. Please. And then limitations. As far as limitations, unless you do an advanced setup, you're only going to be able to run this MCP server and access it on the same network that you are running Home Assistant. There are ways around that, and I think the website for this tool shows how to do that, but just know that that is a limitation. Awesome. So I want to go over a couple prereqs. The first is you need Home Assistant, and the second is you need an AI agent tool that supports MCP. So Claude Code, Claude Desktop, Gemini CLI, OpenAI's Codex, something like that. And then those are the two main prereqs. And then a couple of things we'll need for later. You're going to need to make sure that your Home Assistant is up and running. And then we're going to need to generate a long-lived token. So if I go here, you're going to have to click on your profile down here, go to security, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom and hit create token. I'm just going to call this MCP. Okay, here's a token. I'm going to copy this. Don't worry about this being exposed in this video. I will delete it after this video. All right, let's talk about installation. So go to this link that I'll share in the description, and then click on the Setup tab. Now, this is going to be a different setup for whatever tool you have. I'm going to use Claude Desktop, so that's what I'll show in this video. But if you have Claude Code, or if you have Gemini CLI or Codex, there's also instructions here. So I'll click on Claude Desktop, and then I'll click on Local Machine, and then I'll click on Mac OS. And so now we've got the instructions here for what we need to do. The first thing that we need to do is we need to install UV using Brew. If this doesn't work, you can just use this curl link here. I'm going to open up Terminal. I'm going to paste this in here, Brew install UV, hit enter, and let that go to town. Cool. So that is installing. Looks like it's all done. The next thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to install this client configuration. For Claude Desktop, let me open that up. Cool. So I'm in here in Claude Desktop. If you don't have Claude Desktop and you want to install it, go to Anthropic or Claude's website and download their desktop app. The next thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go to Developer and then click on Edit Config. And so this opens up this file that's selected. It's Claude Desktop config.json. I'm going to open this with text edit, and we'll see here it's kind of an empty config. We're going to copy this client configuration, flip back over, and I'm going to replace it here. If you have something in here already, you're going to want to make sure that you can add this entry in. I'm assuming if you already have something in here, you'll know how to do that. So we've got this here. This is the MCP server, Home Assistant. You don't really need to know exactly what's going on here. But a couple of things that we will need is the Home Assistant URL and the Home Assistant token that we added earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to Home Assistant, and this is the URL for my locally running Home Assistant. You can also use the IP address directly. For me, I think it's like 192.168.2 point something. But I'm going to use this path here. I'm going to flip back to text edit. And then I'm going to put the URL here. Great. And then the Home Assistant token, I'm going to grab. This is the one we created here. Looks like I didn't copy it, so I'm just going to create another one. MCP, great. And then copy this. And then I'm going to drop this in here and then save it. So now once I have that saved, I think the only thing that I need to do is restart Claude Code or Claude Desktop. So I'm going to quit out of Claude, wait till that disappears. Great. Then I'm going to open it back up. And then I'm going to go to Settings and then Connectors. And you'll see down here, I now have Home Assistant as a connector. And then when I click Configure, I can see there's 46 read-only tools and 47 write/delete tools. These are all the tools that are getting picked up from that MCP server. So now let's go and create a new chat. Hey, can you see my Home Assistant instance? What lights do you see? We're going to see what happens here. All right, so Claude can see my Home Assistant instance and wants to use this search entities tool. I'm going to always allow that, and then allow UV to find devices on local network. Sure, I'll do that. Looks like it needed that approval before it did it. Let me tell Claude to do that again. Cool, look at that. I can see your Home Assistant instance. You have two lights, tall lamp and lamp. Both are turned on. What would you like me to do? Cool, so we have the MCP server working, and it is accessible via Claude Desktop. So that's really exciting. Alrighty, let's move into the first demo here. Let's have Claude turn off the light behind me. Please turn off the lamp. And then we'll see here. Okay, it wants to do this. I'm going to always allow. All right, so it just turned off the lamp. Turn it back on. There we go. Cool. So Claude can now turn this lamp on and off. It has access to all my entities. What other entities do you have access to and can turn on or off? So Claude is probably going to search or list all of my entities and then go from there. Let's see what it asks. Always allow. Quite comprehensive. Thank you. Thank you. So a bunch of different switches. I have some water valves, my vacuum. That would be interesting to play around with. Alarm system, handful of scripts, camera, automations. Cool. So Claude has access to all that. Let's keep going. Let's have Claude write an automation to turn this lamp on and off 3 times and then leave it on. So I'm going to send this off to Claude and then see what happens. This is a new session, so it's probably going to search all my entities again. That's not right. Use the MCP tool. So it just wanted to run some Python code. You may run into something like that. Cool. It sees my MCP server now, and now it's using that. You might run into something similar. It's searching entities. Great. Cool. It found the lamp entity, and now it's going to write this automation. Here it is. Blink the lamp 3 times. I'm going to allow once. And then it's running the set automation. Awesome. Repeat 3 times, turns lamp off, then waits 1 second. Great. Run it now, please. Gonna see what happens now. Claude is taking a minute. Hey, look at that. Blinking 3 times and then turns back on, and I think it should stay. Yep, it stays. So that's pretty cool. I can do all of that here. It wrote all the code that was needed to do that. And then you'll see here, if I flip over to settings, automations, blink lamp 3 times, I can now see the automation that Claude built. So pretty cool. So the last thing that I want to show you is having Claude build me a dashboard. So I want Claude to build me a dashboard called Cool Dashboard. It should include temperature sensors using gauges, and then switches for all my lights grouped by room. I'm going to send this off to Claude and see what happens. Nice. First, it's searching entities. We'll give that a minute to finish. Looks like it's doing that again. Now, let me get all your lights in their areas. So it's also doing another search. Not sure exactly why. Can I see the? Yeah, I can see. Cool. I can actually see the responses in here, which is neat. Let me open this one too. Side note, I think there has been a bug reported in Claude Desktop that if you don't open this up, it just freezes. So just keep that in mind. You may need to just pop these open. That should be fixed very soon though. I'm going to allow once, getting this entity for more information. Then getting my areas to do something cool. Allow once. And now it's creating a cool dashboard with the temperature gauges and lights. I'll be very interested to see what it comes up with here. Nice. So here's the dashboard. Here's all the config information. It's still writing that out, so I'll give it a minute. Nice. Are we done here or not quite? I think maybe. So I'm going to allow once and then see what happens. Okay, it says it's created it. And I actually just saw it pop up over on the side here. So I'm going to flip over to my Home Assistant and then click on the Cool Dashboard. And there we go. We have all of our temperature sensors, kitchen sink, primary bath. Okay, so this is interesting. These are, some of these are my moisture sensors that also have temperature values in them. So like, yeah, North AC, South AC, primary bath, those are all temperature sensors for my moisture sensors. But here we have the appliances that actually are temperature sensors. And then we have lights here. These are, okay, so this is, I think, the lamp behind me. Yeah, so I can change the value on that. And then I have tall lamp downstairs, which I can turn off and turn on. I have other lights as well, but I think that they are registered as smart plugs. So I'd have to tell Claude that they are smart plugs. But so yeah, hopefully you can see that this is at least like helpful. You can go through and have Claude via the MCP server build you a dashboard and do a bunch of other different things. But you may need to guide it along the way and say, hey, these actually aren't temperature sensors. I only care about these ones. Then I also have other lights. So it's not like AGI, but it is helpful. And you can create automations, turn things on and off, create dashboards a lot easier than having to learn some syntax language to do it yourself. All right, before wrapping up, I wanted to bring us to the GitHub repo and just kind of showcase the list of all the different tools that this MCP server surfaces. 97 tools. Here's the complete tool list. Plenty of different things. And you don't necessarily need to know all of these, but it can be helpful to know about these different tools so that you can better understand what the capabilities are and then better prompt Claude or Gemini or anything like that. So here's a bunch of different tools, plenty of different things around dashboards, You can do things. Get add-on. I'm not sure exactly what that does. That seems kind of interesting. Looks like you can actually even back up your Home Assistant instance and then restore. That's kind of cool. You can fetch logs, so you can debug why something didn't work. And then I think you can get, where is it? You can get an automation trace. So if an automation failed, you could actually have Claude retrieve the trace for it, and then update or edit your automation. I think it can edit, I'm not sure. If not, it can certainly delete and then recreate it, so that it can fix your automation given that information. So plenty of different things here. Searching entities, deep search, not sure what that does, but plenty going on here. This is a very active repository. Things changed 3 days ago. And like I said, the creator of Claude Code, or the creator of Home Assistant, wants to kind of incorporate this into Home Assistant Core. I think that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully this was helpful. It's really cool to have an MCP server like this that can just be used by any AI agent. Again, the links will be in the description. Plenty of cool features here. And then it's really cool. It has a setup wizard, so you can select any of your any tool you want to use. Like for instance, if you wanted to use Codex, you can click on that. Local machine, Mac, and then it gives you the install instructions here, and then how to kind of set up the MCP server with whatever tool you're using. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful. Really appreciative of the person who built this out. It's been helpful to me, and hopefully it'll be helpful to you. So yeah, let me know what you think, and until next time.